to be.
Okay, guys, it's Yo Girl Cadillac. Now we ready to go. I got 22 minutes on this thing. Okay, it's your girl Cadillac. I am the Draw My Life prison wife. I am the legally blind artist. I'm also the OG prison wife girl for 21 plus years. I am hoping to see justice before it all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Girl, I kind of shuffled the intro around, but girl, I wear a lot of hats. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to review and respond to Miss Rajiva, the ruler's latest video this morning. Girl, it was about snitches. And it was really good. I haven't gotten to watch the whole video, but girl, my hands are sore. Y'all know I got the little carpal tunnel. And when somebody is talking something good, I be trying to, my hands be like this. I be trying to hold the phone and I swipe. I have to swipe because I can't do the, the thumb thing that people do with their phone. So I'm swiping like this, barely able to hold the phone because I have no blood flow in my hands. So I'm trying to leave these long messages because it's like, girl, that's what I love about YouTube. Because like the movies, you know how in a scary movie, you be like, girl, don't go in there, don't go in there. Girl, if you are on YouTube, you could be typing, girl, don't go in there. Don't go in there. He's behind the door. That's how it feels. So when somebody, I know I leave these long drawn out messages, and to be honest, girl, it takes me hours sometimes to comment to you. I was supposed to leave the house at like 11 o'clock. It is now 1, and it took that long because it was getting good in this video, and I was trying to leave my comments, and then with me swiping and autocorrect, it messes it up. So it takes me 1,000,001 years to even edit the comment because I know I probably sound like Boo Boo the goddamn fool when you first read my comments. So that's why it be edited several times. That's them disabilities getting in my way. But girl, I still am going to say what I need to say. Yes. But what I want to do for the short time that I have left, the 20 minutes that I have left in this video, is I want to let you hear some of what she's saying and then also respond to it. And guys, you know I'm going to link it in the description box below, and you go back and listen to her. Girl, we got to support her because she is a returning citizen. And y'all already know I am for criminal justice reform. I really hate that they call it criminal justice because it implies the impression. See, we're mental people, and whether we the words are giving us a certain thought. That's why they calling it criminal justice. And then they know it relates to you. Hey, why would we want criminals to have justice? This is justice reform. That system is not for criminals. The system is for us. If I ever am thrusted into that system, because it could be, girl, nobody is too high or too big to be in that system. So it's for us. It's for everyday people. It's for your law-abiding citizens. It's for everyone. So we should want that to be reformed, because you never know when the tables can turn and it's not Marchello Jackson and it's you sitting in that hot seat. You're going to want all that justice, that you're going to want all those rights that you feel like you have. You're going to want everything done in your case. So that's why it should be justice reform and for prison reform. And I know y'all don't care about prisons either because you think you'll never be there. But girl, do you know how many people are sitting in prison today and have been in prison that never thought one day in their life they would have to do prison time? Girl, because it ain't about just and it ain't about justice. And I keep trying to tell y'all that. The system makes money. So whatever makes more money is going to be what they're going to go with. Yes, it's not about keeping us safe like they love to tell us. They're there. The prisons are there to keep us safe, to lock up the people that... Okay, that's the best segue. They tell the... because a reason why a lot of people oppose prison reform and criminal justice, well, we're going to say justice reform, is because they feel like the prisons are there to keep our communities safe. But yet the prisons are not keeping us safe because our communities are still not safe. But we got plenty of people locked up. And I'm sure they want to lock up many more people. But did you know, hold on, I'm going to insert this. Florida prisons are to critical capacity. So soon there won't even be room to lock up the new people committing crimes in our communities. They already got the inmates, like incarcerated citizens. Like I had that video where it's really like DOC is hoarding human life. It is human life being put on shelves. It is not there where we're rehabilitating and getting them ready to come back to society. No, we shelving these people. We're pretty much putting them on a shelf. And what is the expiration date of a human? And guess what? Everybody is not going to be there forever, right? Even Marchello Jackson, we talked about that yesterday, has a release date, 2039. But girl, he has a release date. And if you have not rehabilitated him in the 30-some plus years that you kept him, what happens when he comes back to your society and my society? That's why we all should care. We're all connected, though. We love to think we're divided and one is above one and one is beneath the other. No, baby. We all in this together. But that is why it leads right into her video of snitching. Because that's what the basis of our system really is, snitching. It's all in to get a conviction. A bill is out there. Think about a crime as a bill. A bill is out there. When you commit a crime, somebody commits a crime, a bill is generated. So it's almost like you used a credit card. Somebody got to pay this, but it's attached with a credit card. It's attached to a person, so of course you gonna pay it. Even if, and I've had identity theft. Even if you had identity theft, you gonna pay it because it's attached to your name, right? But a crime is like a bill being generated. Okay, so now somebody has to pay this. Somebody gonna pay. So what they do in a crime, they don't necessarily go out. Now, the reason the Constitution and all the rights are set up, the legal system is set up, is so that they would take the right steps to get to putting the correct people in prison for the correct amount of time and for the correct reason, right? But because our system, and Rajiva will get into that, where the people that uphold the system are actually using it for they're leveraging it for them rather than for our constitutional rights and the laws and the constitutional laws to be, played out. That's how it's set up, so that it can be played out and the right people can be convicted in a right manner. But it's not being utilized that way because a big part of why, it's a lot of reasons why, but a big part of why is this snitching situation. And it is true because you can go out and commit a crime. You can be with me and you could say, I did it. And baby, guess what? I could go down for it, whether I had a hand in it or not. This is the whole reason of why Marchello Jackson is wrongfully incarcerated and has done 21 plus years. Because of this snitching situation. So I love the way Rajiva, the way that she interprets it and tells how snitching really is. So let's listen to her.
About doing an hour with the ruler. And today is going to be the first episode, and our first topic is going to be,
check her out. I love her.
Snitches get stitches. Now, when it comes to how people feel about snitching, you have people on both sides of the fence. You have some people who are pro snitching, and you have some people who are con snitching, and for so many different reasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the culture of snitches getting stitches, and if it's something that we should leave in the Stone Ages, or if it's something that will always stand against the times. Y'all sit tuned. We about to get to it. In my community tab about the segment that I was going to do, and I allowed my subscribers to give their input so that they can be a part of this too, because y'all support me, so I want y'all to be a part of everything that I do. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell you my stance on it and how I feel about it. Now, when it comes to snitching, I do feel like it is part of the culture. Like, it is something that's been embedded since the beginning of time. Like, you just don't talk. Like, if you do the crime, you do the time. If 2 or 3 people, they run down and they commit a crime together and one of y'all get caught, like,
that's where people get that cliche saying, don't do the time if you can't do the crime.
Like, take one for the team.
I mean, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
And then you have people who are like, I ain't finna do it. If all three of us do it together and I get caught and y'all know we did it together, like, why would y'all let me go down by myself? If we all did it together and I got to go to prison, we should all go to prison, right? Now, I feel a few ways about it when it comes to snitching.
And I love that she's looking at it from different perspectives, because that's what we need to do.
I just feel like if three people get caught, if three people commit a crime together, okay, y'all conspire to go rob this convenience store, right? So y'all hold them up at gunpoint. You're like, give me all the money, give me the loot. It be out of cash register. They give you the cash register.
My hand going dead, sorry.
One of your homeboys get a little too trigger happy and they end up shooting the cashier. Y'all ain't going there planning to kill this man, okay? And it's like, now you just shot this man, that was not part of the plan, so that's on you. So after it all goes down, now you got a robbery with a firearm and you got a murder, okay? And felony murder is something where if you commit a crime and somebody dies, you get charged with felony murder, whether you were the person that killed them or not. That's just the way it goes.
And I do have a situation. Let me read that little comment that I read about that. And I never spoke about this before. Okay, I had a situation where a friend of mine growing up had went wayward, and he and another guy followed a lady with intentions on robbing her. Well, when the car stopped and they got out to rob her, they didn't know her husband was in the front seat with his seat let back. And he was also an off-duty officer. The guy got out and shot to kill. My friend was the one hit, right? This was when we were growing up in the youth church. And everybody would get a certain age and they would love to leave the church. Girl, don't leave the church. Okay. The guy got out and shot to kill. Okay, I read that already. My friend was the one hit, and he was just at altar call a week prior. So they can spin the laws how they see fit. So what she was explaining, I'm sorry, let me read this last part. That's just a sad situation all the way around. Please stay out them streets. Yes. But what she was telling you was the felony murder rule, which is here in Florida. That is on the books. If you are with me, say I give you a ride. Girl, y'all know some of the crazy men I done dealt with before. It can fall on you. If I went into the store, you told me, hey, I'm about to go cash my lottery tickets, girl, and I'll be right back. Just wait here for me. But you go in there and you rob the place. And now you get in the car with me, right? You robbed and you outed the cashier, or you hurt or injured the cashier in the means of it. Now, if the person dies from those injuries, because I'm with you, I'm going down with you, and I'm going to be charged with what you're charged with. So if you're charged with murder, I'm going to be charged with murder as well. That's the felony murder rule. There's so many people in prison, in Florida prison, serving life sentences on the felony murder rule, which a lot of people are advocating to try to overturn and amend and change that rule, so that you can be separated. But in that case, the guy that was that agreed to do this, robbery with a friend of mine from a long time ago. Gosh, I hate that his life ended that way, but girl. And I hate that he went down that route, girl. And I know he was fighting with himself. I'm getting chills as I'm saying this. He was fighting with himself. Because he was just at the church, girl, right before that. But because the guy that he went to commit the robbery with got killed, they charged my friend's murder. They charged it as murder. They excused the guy from shooting to kill him because he was trying to actually rob his wife, which I don't know. That's crazy. I don't condone that whatsoever. But they didn't know it was going to end in shooting. They thought they was just finna come up, get a little bit of money and go head on. Well, they didn't. My friend got killed, and they put the murder of him on the accomplice, the other guy that was robbing him. So that's what she's explaining, that felony murder rule.
So if you and your partner commit a crime and say y'all running away and the cashier shoots your partner and you get away, if they catch you, you're going to get charged with felony murder. for your homeboy dying, even though the cashier shot him.
Yeah.
So my take on it is, if all of us do this and then we run and we go our separate ways, right? And I get caught and y'all get away and they grab me and they like, you know, we know it was you. They said it was 3 people. Who was the other people? What bothers me the most about snitching is it's not something where it's like, you know, you tell us because that's what's best for the society.
Thank
we need
you,
to get these
that
people off the
part.
street because they committed a crime, and all of y'all will be, you know, punished accordingly. When it comes to snitching, every single time they get somebody to snitch, they offer them something.
Yes, that's it.
So you tell them, I
It's
get
an
caught
incentive.
because for whatever reason I was slipping on my pimping. I wasn't as good as being camouflaged as my compadres. They knew how to move and get away, and I was a little too loose-lipped because I wanted to talk about it, or I wanted to flash my cash. Or I robbed this convenience store, been broke all my life. Now I'm out here buying jewelry, I'm buying car, or whatever it is that you buying, that people can link the fact that you robbed that convenience store because of how you moving now compared to how you was moving before. Whereas your other 2 friends, they knew better. They knew I ain't never had no money. I done robbed this convenience store. I got a little cash stored away. I'm gonna sit that to the side, everything die down, then I'm gonna start, you know, moving this money and I'm gonna do what I need to do. But you ain't got the sense God tried to give you. So you out here showing the whole community that you was a part of that, because they know it's like you ain't been had no money, run trail. So
Run trail.
All of a sudden. So
Run
you've
trail.
been moving funny. People have been talking, and now they come pick you up because of your own doings, or you pillow talking with your girlfriend and you done let it slip,
And then
or
you
y'all
turn
end up killing somebody
and you put it
so
on
shook,
someone
You go
else.
to your cousin's house and you
So I'm not going to have enough time to play her whole video, but please go check it out. It's really good. But I have, I'm going to try to read some of my comments, because this is the reason why Marchello is in prison for 40 years, because of this snitching culture, which it sounds crazy. When I say snitching, it sounds like, yes, well, how is he wrongfully convicted? Let me read this so that you can understand. But it's because of that snitching culture that if anything goes down, if I just throw the hot potato off on you, I don't have to do the time, and you can do my time for whatever I've done, right? So that's the situation that ended up happening with Marchello. So let me read that. So at minute marker 3 and 36 seconds, I said that part. They don't even care if the information that the other person gives is true or not. Either way, it's almost like whoever points the finger first gets the deal. Like I say, whoever squeals first gets the deal first, girl. Yes. These dudes know that too. So they use it as a way now to commit crimes and just throw it off on someone else. This is the whole reason on my channel that I'm the OG prison wife of 21+ years. Girl, not a badge of honor, but that's who I am, right? My husband was wrongfully convicted because of this type of situation. My husband at 19 was walking from a convenience store as his cousin drives past and asked him, "Hey man, you want to ride home?" It was just a couple of blocks away. God, do I wish Marchello would have just walked those blocks. And he wished the same thing too. Okay, he gets in the car. His cousin had 2 guys in the car with him. My husband gets in the car not knowing that that would be the end of his life. Yes, his life as a free man. His cousin picked him up so close to the stop sign that when he drove off, he actually ran the stop sign. So the police patrolled that neighborhood heavily. It's a black community. You know, the police patrol black communities, and proceeded to pull the vehicle over just for running the stop sign, right? Instead of his cousin pulling over, his cousin floored it and led the police on a 5 to 7 minute high-speed chase through the neighborhood, which Marchello had just got in that car. And that could have been proven if they would have allowed Marchello to get the surveillance tapes at the convenience store he just freaking walked off from. But they hid and suppressed those tapes. They would not allow us to get the tapes. They claim, oh, it costs way too much money to pull the surveillance tapes, and would not provide them, right? So Marchello couldn't prove that, hey, I just stepped in that car. And if the police was patrolling and watching that much, I know they seen Marchello just get in that car, right? Okay, the 2 passengers, white males in the hood, claimed to have been robbed. Oh, hold on. I missed the whole part. Okay, the cousin stopped the car in a dead-end cul-de-sac, jumps out the car and runs, leaving my husband, his little cousin, that my husband was his little cousin, and his 2 passengers in the car. The 2 passengers, what we found out later, was the white males. They were 2 white males in the hood that claimed to have been robbed. In all actuality, they had come with the driver. They were already in the car with the driver from a very popular club that was just the main street over, to get high. They went to get right? The cousin was taking them to go get substances. That was the whole ordeal. And on his way to taking them to get substances, oh, that's my cousin there. Cuz, you want to ride? Marchello gets in the freaking car, right? Watch the company you keep, even if it is your family, right? Okay, so the cousin was taking them to get right in the hood and then dropping them back off to the club or whatever. Okay, well, when the cops got behind the cousin, he drove off and fled the scene because he already had several felony charges on him that he was out on bond at the time. And he said he couldn't go down for anything else. So he threw the whole ordeal on my husband. And even though nothing points to my husband, they charged him with a slew of charges and with a weapon that they claimed that they said was there, but was never freaking recovered. They charged him with that. That was never recovered. My husband is 21 years in on his 40-year sentence. They don't have to produce that weapon. All they have to do is say there was a weapon. The weapon escalated the charge. Even if they had to charge Marchello without this weapon, they never found, he would have only did 10, probably. Sorry, my hands are so numb. God, I'm trying to hold this phone. I just dropped it. But they would have only charged Marchello 10 years. Even if they wrongfully convicted him, they would have only wrongfully convicted him to 10 years. But they allowed that gun to escalate that charge to 40 years. And that is why he has that 40-year sentence. Guess what? The cousin got nothing for that. He's out. He's free. And Marchello is still there until Jesus comes back.